What's good, YouTube? Flash Speech checking back in, man. Just leaving that gym again. You know what I'm saying? Arm day, one of my favorites. Arms hurting like a mug though right now, boy. You know that little opposite side of the elbow, whatever the hell that's called, where that cartilage is. Woo! That ain't no joke, man. But that's a good hurt. Anyway, AJ Brown was on $1 million worth of game. Gilly the Kid and Wallow. Gilly the Kid, and Wallow. Shout out to them, first of all. You know what I mean? Shout out to the whole Making Figures. Shout out to Dutchy, Spado, that whole clique back then. That was a great time for rap in the city of Philadelphia. And one day, myself and a partner of mine, we're going to go live and we're going to talk about the history of hip-hop in Philadelphia. Because it is a very rich history that, unlike many cities in America, kind of formed alongside what was happening in New York, because you know, with us being very close to New York, we were always kind of up on New York culture, whether it's their dress, whether it's their musical tastes, whatever. So you know, that's a very, very interesting history that we're gonna get into one day, but that's for another time, of course, man. So AJ Brown being interviewed, and AJ Brown basically was asked some questions about the controversial things he seems to find himself caught up in. You know, because I guess he's a real dude. He say what's on his mind or whatever. If he's frustrated about something, he says that he's just one of those types of spirits. You know what I'm saying? And and I don't have a problem with it, but I kind of just want to say a few things. All right, number one, playing wide receiver. You might not get the looks. You might not get the ball that much because, in an average football game, you might run anywhere between 55, 60 to 70 plays, a whole game. It's only one football. A running back can get the ball 20 to 30 times, whereas a wide receiver might be targeted 10, which it would be on the high end, especially in an offense that's ball control like the Philadelphia Eagles and so on. And then you got a quarterback that's, is conservative and concerned about interceptions and so on. I mean, anybody can get how it can be frustrating. However, nobody's really going to feel sorry for AJ Brown. Number one, you played football your whole life, and that's the wide receiver life. Nobody that's smart, no team that's smart is going to make the wide receivers the center of an offense. I mean, you do have dumb teams that do that have done that. The Bengals getting rid of, Joe Mixon and stuff like that, and going with Chase and all of that. And you see what that did for him. You know what I'm saying? So, if you wanted the ball all the time, maybe you should have played quarterback growing up. I don't know. You should have tried quarterback, or you see what I'm saying? I remember playing cornerback, in high school and so on. I was a damn good cornerback too. But sometimes if you're good, a lot of times you don't get no work. I mean, that's just what it is. You still handle it. You understand that as a team, winning is what's really going to be what it's about. And also the team can't formulate game plans around trying to keep AJ Brown happy, or any wide receiver or any individual player happy. You can't, because now you're going off of things that aren't, you're going off of something other than sound decision making. You know what I mean? Now you're going off of this person's happiness. No, happiness should be with winning. If not, then you have to find a way to make yourself happy with winning. And as we know, AJ Brown, he also suffered with some serious issues, and that's not to make light of it at all, but he contemplated, man, ending it and stuff like that. So you gotta keep in mind and remind him, you know what I mean? The book he may be using, maybe go to religion, whatever you have to do to try to find that inward peace and inward happiness is very important, man. And maybe that inward happiness isn't through football. You know what I'm saying? It could be through something else, and really try to help him, if you have access to him, to find it through that other thing, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? It might be through his kids and family, But like maybe that happiness that he needs to really soothe himself, it just really might not be in football. You know, it may not be at the job. You know, and that's on a real serious note there. But now one thing he did say that was real. He was talking about like how those GMs are. Like if you're, you know, if you're getting paid like a top receiver, 30 million, 25 million, whatever, and it's time to negotiate that contract, or they might want to sign other people, and they start talking all that renegotiate contracts. Sometimes them GMs, them nasty little, you know, shisty, snakely GMs, and I'm not saying this is Howie, but just in general, it could be, rhetorically speaking, they might look at your numbers, you know, and be like, you know, I can't pay you 30 million because you only caught 60 passes, just to throw a number out there. I can dig where AJ's coming from like that. He does need numbers. And that ain't even a selfish thing. That's like, you know, that's business. He need them numbers. So I can get it how he might get frustrated with Hurts when they come to that. You know, there might be incentive bonuses that he can only hit if he catch a certain number of balls or get a certain number of touchdowns. Now that part I totally understand. You know, because that to me is not all on him. That's also the business that, you know, that he finds himself in. But as far as like, you know, he gotta be getting the ball to be engaged all the time. Like I'm not really feeling that because like you knew what you signed up for when you decided to play wide receiver. You know, wide receivers, that's the wide receiver life, man. And you know, shoot, this tight ends. The tight end is getting the ball less usually, or you know what I mean, or whatever. So you know what I mean, I ain't really feeling him, man. And, you know, but that's still my man. I like A.J. Brown. To me, he's the best wide receiver, you know, the Eagles have had, you know, outside of maybe Mike Quick. And, you know, T.O. was only here 1 year. So I don't count him as, you know, like a best Eagles receiver. Now, best overall all-time NFL receiver, yes. But for the Eagles, he was here a year and a half. You know, and AJ has given us, 3 years now or 4? 3 years now. You know what I mean? So he is him and Mike Quick right there for me. But when you look at the, you know, the postseason success and everything, the overall team and success and all of that, he's probably passing Mike Quick, you know. And that's not to forget Harold Carmichael, you know, but you know what I mean. It's those three guys. But at any rate, you know, you got that. And what was the other thing, man, that was happening in the news? Was it something with Jalen Hurts? Dang, it was right on the tip of my daggone tongue, man. Oh man, yeah, forgive me, y'all. It was something else, I think. Oh yeah. The Green Bay Packers have made an appeal to the NFL to ban the Eagles' version of the quarterback sneak, the so-called Tush Push, you know. And like, I mean, I'm not surprised, you know, but I'm kind of surprised it came from Green Bay. Like, I'm trying to figure out, did they think they would win if the Eagles weren't doing that play? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to understand where it's kind of coming from. They that salty about losing, like they thought they would win. You know what I mean? Man, you need to ban that defense for breaking up half your offense, putting out half your receivers. You know, I think that's just weird and weak. You know what I mean? And honestly, I think people overrate it. I like, all right, let's say the NFL was to go ahead and ban the play. Like, you know, classic quarterback sneaks are also very effective plays. You know, it really isn't that much of a difference, you know. And then you got Jalen Hurts. He's going to get those anyway. Now, me personally, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. You know, not just speaking as an Eagle fan, but like I would like to see the Eagles run the ball more in those situations, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You know, with Saquon for sure. You know, be more creative. Get back to maybe throw a fullback in there behind Saquon. I want to see those off tackle joints. You know, I formation explosions type of runs anyway. So personally, I wouldn't even mind. But I think it is funny the Green Bay Packers is on that type of time. So it appears that they'll be voting for it, I think, in March. I believe it said what I just saw. Listen, Green Bay, it's not going to help you, dog. Like, you got way more problems with the Eagles than some damn Tush Push, man. But, like, you know, that's what you want to do, man. You know, we going to see. So anyway, man, let me go ahead, man. That's all I got for the day of Eagles news, man. When some more stuff drops or whatever, I'm going to definitely let y'all know, keep y'all updated. So, peace out.